In a world where rugged barns whisper tales of the past, where every weathered plank carries the scent of rain-soaked earth and echoes of long-forgotten stories, there rises something unexpected. A space where the dust of yesterday doesn't fade, but glimmers, caught in the glow of crystal chandeliers that dangle like constellations, casting light on what was once only shadow. It is a meeting of two worlds that were never meant to touch, until now. The raw, the imperfect, the kind of beauty only time can carve, married to the elegance of polished brass, marble counters, and velvet drapes that sway softly in the stillness of evening. This is not just a home. It's a heartbeat. A place where every corner hums with contrast, where the creak of a wooden floor feels as deliberate, as intentional, as the gleam of a gilded mirror. Here, the barn does not hide its scars, it celebrates them. And yet those very scars are framed by touches so refined, so decadent, that stepping inside feels like wandering into a dream spun from memory and desire. A dream where grit and grace are not enemies, but dance partners, turning slowly beneath the soft glow of candlelight. Did you know that 70% of homeowners feel their space doesn't reflect their style? Don't be part of that statistic. Subscribe and start designing a home that truly feels yours. And as you stand at its threshold, the world outside falls away. The hum of the city feels distant. The quiet of the countryside feels near, wrapping itself around you like a warm, familiar blanket. You realize almost instantly that this is more than architecture. It is not bound by blueprints or bound to trends. It is sculpted by something deeper, something that feels almost alive. This is the Rustic Glam Barndominium, not simply a dwelling but a story waiting for the next chapter, the next set of footsteps to echo down its halls. A story where the past whispers, the present glimmers, and the future feels limitless. And as the doors open, the question lingers in the air, soft but undeniable. Could this be the home your soul's been searching for all along? Imagine weathered wooden beams, rough as if carved by time itself, their knots and grooves telling stories only silence can keep. They stand tall, unpolished, proud of every mark, every shadowed crevice that time has painted upon them. And yet, they do not stand alone. Golden sconces, warm as late afternoon sunlight, cast their glow upon the grain, softening what is rugged, giving it a quiet radiance. Beneath your feet, the cool touch of polished marble stretches like a river, its surface gleaming as though it holds fragments of a starry night sky. The contrast feels impossible. How can something so refined share space with something so raw? And yet here they don't just coexist. They belong. They complete each other like two voices in harmony, one whispering of the earth, the other of the stars. Each corner feels alive, not static, not staged, but breathing. The walls don't just hold the home, they hold emotion, a rhythm that hums softly beneath the surface. It is a melody of duality, old soul, new elegance, rough textures meeting delicate finishes, time-worn charm wrapped gently in the arms of quiet luxury. In this space, every detail speaks. The burnished brass of cabinet pulls, cool to the touch, glints beside rustic wood grain that feels warm and familiar. Light dances on mirrored surfaces, but it never erases the shadows. It plays with them, as though both light and dark have earned their place here. It's more than a house, far more. It feels almost like a living being, one foot planted firmly in the soil of its past, the other stepping forward into a future shaped by grace and beauty. It exists not on the extremes, but in the balance between them, caught in that rare, fleeting space where contradiction feels inevitable, even destined. and as you stand there, the world outside blurs, just for a moment. The country roads seem to hum faintly in the distance. The city lights a far-off glimmer. You realize this space doesn't ask you to choose. It offers both, as though saying, softly but assuredly, you can have it all. A beautiful home is not a dream, it's an art, and you're the artist. Subscribe and start creating spaces that speak to the soul. But how does a barn, something born to shelter hay, horses, and the hum of quiet labor, become a haven of elegance? A place where simplicity doesn't vanish but transforms. Step inside, and you'll see. The first thing you notice is the height. Vaulted ceilings, soaring like the ribs of some grand cathedral, stretch upward as though reaching for the clouds. They're dressed not in polished perfection but in reclaimed timber, each beam scarred and storied, carrying whispers of decades gone by. Above, the wood seems to breathe, as though exhaling the memories it has kept locked within. Beneath your feet, the floor murmurs softly with every step, a gentle creak here, a low groan there. It's not noise. It's the sound of history acknowledging your presence. The planks are wide and worn, their edges softened by time, and yet they cradle you, grounding you, while the rest of the home elevates you. Around you, the transformation reveals itself piece by piece. A velvet sofa, deep and plush, invites you to sink into its embrace, its jewel-toned hues a quiet nod to indulgence. Nearby, a crystal fixture hangs like a suspended constellation, scattering fragments of light across the room. Each sparkle feels deliberate, as if the house itself has decided that luxury should not scream, but whisper. It's a curious alchemy. What was once utilitarian now feels transcendent. The barn doesn't deny what it was. The soul of its past remains intact. But layered upon that soul is something unexpected, a promise that comfort and beauty can exist together, that practicality can wear the cloak of opulence without shame. And as you walk deeper, the air feels different, not heavy, not hollow, but alive. You sense that this place, this barn reborn, is not trying to be something else entirely. Instead, it is revealing a version of itself that was always waiting beneath the surface, as though time was simply biding its moment to unveil it. This is no longer a building of labor and necessity. It is a sanctuary, a home where every choice, every detail, feels like a whisper saying, softly but insistently, this is where life slows down, but never stops feeling extraordinary. Here, mornings taste like fresh coffee, the kind that lingers in the air long before you even open your eyes. The beams above, kissed by the early sun, glow softly, their golden tones warming the cool hush of dawn. The light filters in gently, not in a rush, but as if it knows it has all the time in the world. It dances across the wood, spilling onto the floors, onto the counters, onto the corners that hold your favorite chair, wrapping everything in a quiet, effortless serenity. As the day unwinds and the world outside grows still, the house transforms again. Nights here aren't just dark, they sparkle. Chandeliers, their crystals shimmering like captured starlight, cast a delicate glow across the room. Each flicker feels alive, as if the home itself is breathing, alive with the echoes of laughter, the murmurs of soft conversations, the silences that feel warm rather than empty. Transform your home. Transform your life. Subscribe now and let's create spaces you'll love forever. It is in these moments, when morning greets you with its warmth and night embraces you with its glow, that you understand what makes this place different. It's not just the walls, or the beams, or the glint of brass fixtures against reclaimed wood. It's how those pieces, so opposite, somehow fit together to create something whole. Something that doesn't just feel beautiful, but feels right. You find yourself imagining mornings spent in stillness, a book resting open on your lap while the breeze slips softly through open windows. You imagine evenings where voices fill the air,